What the heck? There's more.
Just trying to find a crossing so that we can go to the other side of the creek now and explore over there. Thinking maybe we like follow the creek on the other side. Our thinking is that maybe when he says it's no place for the meek after you get to the put-in, is that perhaps it's no place for the meek because you have to cross the river. And he does say later on that your effort will be worth cold, which you could only feasibly think that someone would be cold if maybe they'd gone through water, because what if they're searching in summertime? But the water's still cold. We're crossing right now.
Is Corwin Springs past Devil's Slide?
No, on this side, it's just evened out a bit, but
impassable when wet or snow covered. Jeez Louise. Road closed ahead. 5.1 miles ahead. Spring Creek Trailhead open for Sphinx Creek. I wonder if that's like, well, that's where you have to put in because the road's closed.
Maybe. So there's been lots and lots of potholes. Some pretty big ones that we've gone past too. So just be wary of that if you're renting a car, if you ever do come out here. And the car that we rented is very low to the ground, unfortunately. And in hindsight, we wish we'd gotten.
They offered me a Jeep for $10 more a day. I was like, no, I'll take the ripped off bumper, but the great mileage.
Yeah.
Perspective of where we're at. So the road we took in is Old Yellowstone Trail, and it is nothing more than a freaking trail. It's not really a paved road. Right there is Yankee Jim Boat Put In. Right there, let's see. Right over there is Joe Brown Trailhead. So whether you call that the put in or that, we're on the other side of the river, which the only way you can get there. Yeah, the trail kind of like goes up that way. Maybe I think it goes around the mountains because you certainly can't go up. But I was hoping to look quickly down in my quest to cease.
I want to look at like these little like holes and stuff. I wish we had a really good torch. I was trying to use the torch on my phone earlier, but it just wasn't bright enough to see inside of it.
Oh man. But I tell you what, you can almost just look at the riverbed and all the different colors and the beauty and majesty of it, and like it almost looks like a blaze, a blaze of colors just as you look out.
I've lost Eric. He's wandered off somewhere down this road. I've been walking for a while now. You can't even see the car anymore. I've been calling out his name to no avail. He's not hearing me. Getting really frustrated. I don't know what he's doing because I don't think that this is where it is. When Forrest talked about it, he talked about doing 2 trips from his car, and that when he got back to his car, he was surprised that there was no one around, which means that I don't believe that he could see his car from wherever this was that he dropped this treasure off. And so I don't think that it would be literally just on the bank of the river here, because he could literally just park anywhere along this road here and just walk in, pop it on the riverbank, walk back to the car. Like, he could reasonably see his car from where he would be. And the other thing is, people aren't going to be parking on this road, just parking and getting out and looking. It just isn't going to happen on this kind of road here. So it makes it seem like it was an actual little designated parking area where he left his car. For him to expect that there should be people around, or be surprised that there were no other people around back where he left his car at. Found him. All is well in the world again. So he was back further this way. I think it was because he had walked in that direction, but then he'd gone back down on the bank to come up, and so I hadn't seen him. So he'd been looking for me and I'd been looking for him. But when we found each other...
I was yelling Jesse, and when I did, this bird would make the same noise. Beep, 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 beep. I was like, what?
I was yelling Eric. I was yelling so loud. His hearing's not that great. So when we saw each other, I was running towards him is then he started running towards me because he thought I was running like I found the treasure. Man, it's kind of crazy to think of all of the people that come out here really frequently. Like, how disheartening is it? Like, we spent one day not finding the treasure, and I just feel so...
Like defeated.
Defeated, yeah.
Like, well,
And
I mean,
really confused.
I love how it's, well, the treasure must be fake.
Yeah.
We didn't find it. The treasure must be fake.
Must be.
At least that we have daylight to do. Like, we can drive down to the Devil's Slide.
Yeah.
And just kind of seek some inspiration.
It's so much different once you're here. It's...
Yeah, it looks... Because some of the places... First of all, the Joe Brown put-in is very unassuming, right? Like, it's just like pretty plain nothing. And so all the area that you're looking at around it, like, none of this within 2-3 miles is like that much to look at.
Yeah, like
compared to
this
Yellowstone.
Isn't, like, it's... Yeah, exactly. Like, if you've never seen anything like this before, it's beautiful. It's magnificent. But there are so many places way, way, way nicer than this. Like, this isn't that special. This is a kind of mountain range you would drive through and not really think that much of while you're on your way to somewhere really nice.
Like, if it would be like, you know where I want to bury my fortune?
Yeah.
Right
and
here.
And he was
like,
a seasoned
he
explorer.
definitely would have explored. He did archaeology all over the United States in incredible places.
Yeah, so I don't think that this place, unless he had sentimental memories from spending time at these locations as a child, there is no reason why I would think that this would be a particular place that he would
and considering
cleave onto.
So you remember the story he talks about the helicopter and going after his last mission. He wanted to go and he see this field, and while he's in that field, he stumbled over some French graves from like this French occupational war back in the whenever decades before that. And but the place that he described sounded so beautiful that you'd want to see it. But it'd be really difficult for anyone to describe this particular place when Yellowstone's literally 20 minutes away. Yeah. This particular place as unforgettable. Like, I just don't, and that's why I kind of just I'm a little lost. If you've seen Yellowstone Falls, that is unforgettable. Absolutely unforgettable. That's a place of, like, I saw it, I'd want to be buried, but the clues, now I've tried to piece together a way that it could be there, because that sounds very much like heavy loads, water high, and Terry Scant with Marvel Gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. Like, there are going to be people around you, but there are just some parts of it that just don't really add up.
It's possible it could be at a waterfall, behind a waterfall, heavy loads perhaps. That means that there is either boulders on the hike to get to the waterfall, or where the waterfall is splashing down, it's splashing down onto boulders. Just passing by. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Coming up here on Devil's Slide, you'll be able to see it in a moment. I would think it could more likely be a blaze than the home of Brown.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting, that ridge next to it. Looks like the wall of China or something. It's kind of crazy.
What would you call that, if that fits into the clues at all? Let me give you the poem. As I have gone alone in there, and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secret where, and hint of riches new and old. Begin it where warm waters halt, and take it in the canyon down. Not far, but too far to walk. Put in below the home of Brown. From there, it's no place for the meek. The end is ever drawing nigh.
There'll be no paddle up your creek.
Just heavy loads and water high. There's no water anywhere around. There are like probably 100 deer though out here. Okay. Or elk. I think these are elk. Yeah, these are elk. If you're wise and found the blaze, look quickly down, your quest to cease. But Terry Scant with Marvel Gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. So why is it that I must go and leave my trove for all to seek? The answers I already know. I've done it tired, and now I'm weak. So hear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold if you are brave and in the wood. I give you title to the gold.
Eric's trying to bother the animals. Oh my goodness.
They're all like, what the heck?
They're looking at you like you're a crazy person.
We're here at Cinnabar River access, right here on the Yellowstone River. Devil's Slide is just around, it's on the front side of that range right there. So what I've learned, even though our atlas shows Joe Brown as a river access, and that's from like 2013, I mean, it's nowhere on here, right? So there's the Yankee Jim historic site and trail. There's the picnic and river access right there. So we're down here at Cinnabar River access, Leduc Hot Springs. So yeah, it's just really, it's rather interesting. So there's a historic site and trail on the other side of the river, and that's kind of where we were. So narrow gravel road, it wasn't recommended for our car either, that's for sure. So I like the idea of heavy loads, Big Rock Rapids, Yankee Jim's Revenge Rapids. So this is a really interesting map, and this is where we went before. We went to Tom Miner Campground in Petrified Forest. So this road, the Old Yellowstone Road, follows all the way from Gardner, all the way on this side, you know, up to who knows where. But one thing I will say, if it's in this area, it is in the most unassuming place, right? So Joe Brown put in, that which isn't even on their map, is right here, right? So the Joe Brown trailhead's this way, but it's really the Yankee Jim Canyon put in. It's really tough to say. There's a lot to take in here. And I think what is the most troubling is you just want to be right the first time. You want to come out here and be like, listen, I studied the map, I read the book, I read the journals of a trapper. You know, I've watched his interviews, I've taken into account all the Freudian slips he's had, and yet I feel just as empty as if I'd never come here, and that's really hard. All I know is that it's not in a few of the places that I thought it could be, which look very different when you're just looking at pictures on Google Maps, right? And looking at reviews with a couple photos. This is a very unassuming, rather forgettable place. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're not near mountains, this is really cool, right? I got mountains on all sides of me, this is cool. But if you've been to Yellowstone, which is 20 minutes that way, you know, it gets way better. It gets better. So it's either one of two things. Either we're missing something and it's on the other side of the Joe Brown trailhead somewhere up in the mountains and there's waterfalls and some stuff that I just don't see, or it's somewhere on the other side of the Petrified Forest up from West Yellowstone. But whatever the case may be, if it's here on Highway 89 between Gardner and Livingston somewhere, it's in the most unassuming place. Maybe it's underneath John Mayer's house in Paradise Valley. I don't know. Not giving up. We just need help, and we're here. I'm providing the best I can. I'm here in Montana, doing my best to try for myself and eliminate some possibilities so other people don't come up and waste their time in the same places. Trust me, if I had found it in the places that I looked, I would just show it to you. I wouldn't yank your chain. I would just tell you it's gone, I found it. But I didn't find it, and so I would recommend rethinking some of your searches. Yeah, it's definitely like the remnants of a house.
Wow, that's fascinating. Joe Brown, did you live here? Is this your house?
Tell you what, if Joe Brown was here.
It's not here anymore.
So it's 7:50 on September 10th, and it's just kind of in the realm of being too dark to really see things clearly. But the sun went down by like 5:30, but it's only now to the point where it's dark. So good food for thought, and this is kind of getting into fall. So I mean, if you come in the summer, you got light at least till 8 o'clock. First experience boots on the ground. I was hoping it was my last experience. We did not prevail this time, and I got a fresh new perspective of how difficult this actually is and how overwhelming it is to realize how large the Rocky Mountains are and how small I am and how much smaller the treasure is and how exact you have to be. So we will regroup, we will replan, we will come with reinforcements, and we will conquer next time. All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.